Guys, this is the breaking news out of Minnesota tonight and is sending absolute shockwaves through the American politics. According to multiple sources, the United States Department of Justice has launched a criminal investigation into Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. The allegation is very serious that two sitting Democratic leaders may have deliberately impeded federal immigration enforcement at a moment when their city was spiraling into unrest. So, guys, this is no longer about disagreements over policy or political messaging. This is the federal government examining whether state and city leaders crossed a legal red line while Minneapolis was engulfed in protest, chaos, and rising violence. The backdrop is the fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good, a US citizen and mother of three, killed by an IC officer last week. Since that incident, Minneapolis has become a pressure cooker. Protests have intensified, federal officers have flooded the city, and tensions are reaching levels not seen since the 2020 riots. Immigration enforcement had already been underway, but after the shooting, the federal response escalated dramatically. Instead of the coordination, what followed was open confrontation. Governor Walz and Mayor Frey publicly attacked the federal agencies, questioned why the FBI excluded local authorities from investigation, and accused Washington of acting without accountability. Now, the DOJ is asking whether those statements and actions cross the line from criticism into obstruction. Sources even say investigators are examining whether the officials' rhetoric encouraged resistance to IC operations at a time when federal officers were facing direct threats. And here is what makes this explosive, guys. The investigation reportedly relies on a rarely used federal statute dating back to the Civil War, a law designed to stop conspiracies that undermine federal authority. And that same statute was highlighted last month in a memo from Attorney General Pam Bondi, outlining aggressive options for prosecutors dealing with what she described as domestic threats. Bondi herself posted a blunt message outline: no one in Minnesota is above the law. Governor Walz responded immediately, calling the investigation purely political and accusing the administration of weaponizing the justice system. He claims this is a part of a pattern targeting one political figure after another. Mayor Jacob Frey echoed that defiance, saying he will not be intimidated and that Minneapolis will stand firm. But critics are asking a different question tonight. Is this about the political speech or is this about the elected officials sending dangerous signals while federal agents were trying to enforce the law under fire? The DOJ is staying silent for now, but legal experts warn this case could redefine the boundaries of political speech and authority. If criticism alone becomes criminal, that raises serious First Amendment concerns, guys. But if those statements materially interfered with federal operations, that becomes a very different legal battlefield. Normally, investigations like this would go through the Justice Department's public integrity section, but that division has been sidelined during Trump's second term, changing how these cases are reviewed and approved. Civil liberties groups are sounding alarms, while others argue leadership comes with the responsibility, especially during riots where words can trigger the real world consequences. And the situation on the ground remains volatile. Just last night, another federal official shot a suspect during a confrontation after a traffic stop, underscoring how unstable now Minneapolis remains. So, guys, this is no longer just a Minnesota story. This is a national taste of power, authority, and accountability. In India, we say when elephants fight, the grass gets trampled. And right now, the American public is that grass caught between political warfare, law enforcement, and street level chaos. The question ahead is simple but dangerous. Where does dissent end and obstruction begin? And who gets to decide that? This investigation is ongoing, the stakes are enormous, and one thing is certain, guys, this story is far from over. So, guys, thank you so much for joining in. And being with me till the end. If you are following this story closely, we will track each piece of it and will keep you updating on this. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.